day-to-day activities in the Nigerian political space, views of political actors from various political parties on political process, views.
Yes, the policies that mold our lives, that touches our lives, comes to being through politics. Politics which enables human association with each other. As a political animal, man cannot do, without politics, man cannot just do without politics. That's the thing. So good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Political Views. Political Views is that moment on radio at Ebon at the 103.5 FM when we get to look at the political space in Nigeria to make sense of the happenings that mold policies day by day. It comes to you every Monday by 3 o'clock this time, 3 o'clock p.m., and then every Saturday by 10 o'clock in the morning. That's how it is happening. And I remember Martin Efan Shuku, AKZ. Let me tell you that last Saturday we were in the studio with a particular guest, Nzeribe Ezanon, and then we looked at most of the political, like most of the things going on in the political space in Nigeria, and Nzeribe being a politician who, in Anambra State, most like is grounded to an extent. He said that he's been in politics for 20 years. So I want to use this opportunity to let you know that political views is an open platform to all political parties, to all political actors, labor leaders. This platform is open, for you to air your views. And you listening, your view is very much important. That's why we must go further, to bring you the political news making the rounds. So from Wike feud to Muslim ticket, same faith ticket, to all that is going on in the political space. Let's get to the news and know exactly what is happening today. Now, let's get to it. The story here are the stories we have for you today. Assets forfeiture. Federal government behind Ekwuremadu's UK ordeal. Ohanaeze Ndigbo alleges. APC absent as Obi, Kwankwaso, Abiola, Okowa parley at first presidential town hall. PDP chieftains from Obi Royal Council sure of delivering area to Atiku on election day. Federal government misguided in removal of history from curriculum, says Lawan. Federal government misguided in removal of history from curriculum. Lawan. Ayu, Tamboa, Lamido consult Bauchi governor over PDP crisis. Political rallies may hold in Southeast. IPOB. Inflammatory remarks could worsen nation's situation. Abiodun. Now let's get to the details of the story. Getting started with asset forfeiture. Federal government behind Ekweremadu's UK ordeal. Ohanaeze alleges. Ohanaeze Ndigbo yesterday accused federal government of masterminding the ordeal of former Deputy Senate President Ekweremadu in the United Kingdom. The Apex Igbo Social Cultural Organization was reacting to the ruling of a federal high court in Abuja ordering interim forfeiture of 40 properties allegedly linked to Ekweremadu. A statement by the national president of Ohanaeze Youth Council (OYC), Oku Nnabuike, said it is immoral to attack a man whose hands are tied to his back and unable to defend himself. Now, the next story we have for you here is APC absent as Obi, Kwankwaso, Abiola, Okowa, Pale at first presidential town hall. Presidential candidate of All Progressive Congress (APC) Asiwaju Bola Tinubu and the standard bearer of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) Atiku Abubakar failed to show up at the first in the series of town hall meetings for presidential candidates yesterday. Now, presidential town hall series in and is okay. It was an initiative that was, a media initiative. The agenda for the first presidential town hall meeting was on security and the economy. Delta State Governor and PDP Vice Presidential candidate Ifeanyi Okowa was in attendance to represent the party's flag bearer. There was, however, no representative for the presidential candidate for the ruling APC. The candidates in attendance were Peter Obi, flag bearer of Labour Party, Rabiu Kwankwaso, presidential candidate of the New Nigerian People's Party (NNPP), Kola Abiola, standard bearer of the People's Redemption Party (PRP), who was a letter replacement for APC. Now, the next story we have for you is PDP chieftains from Obi's local council sure of delivering area to Atiku on election day. Now, chieftains of the People Democratic Party from Anocha local government area of Anambra State, where the Labour Party's presidential candidate Peter Obi hails from, are confident that the residents of the towns that make up the local council will reject the former governor and his party in the 2023 elections. They described Obi as a social media candidate, adding that the area has always been a PDP stronghold. The council coordinators from the 21 local governments that make up the southeast Nigerian states made this known on Saturday when they met at the PDP's Presidential Management Committee office in Oka, the Anambra State capital, to deliberate on the way forward for party's presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar and his running mate Ifeanyi Go on. Now, the next story we have for you is that federal government misguided in removal of history from curriculum. Lawan. Federal government misguided in removal of history from curriculum. Lawan. President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, has said the federal government was misguided in the removal of history studies from primary and secondary schools curriculum from the 2009-2010 academic session. He, however, commended the government's decision to restore the subject to the teaching curriculum in 2018 after immense criticisms. Speaking in Abuja during the public presentation of a book titled Foundation of Nigeria's Unity, um, he said, "We were misguided some years ago that history should be removed in our schools, and I wonder what we intended to achieve then. Thank God we saw the fallacy and reversed the decision." Now, the next story we have for you is inflammatory remarks could worsen nation's situation. Abiodun. Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun has called on Nigerians to desist from using inflammatory words capable of aggravating the current situation in the country. According to him, only the prevalence of peace, harmony, and tranquility can guarantee the country's attainment of national development and growth. Speaking at the Leadership Capacity Building Conference of the Ogun State chapter of the Nigerian Pentecost Fellowship in Abeokuta, the governor noted that the theme of the conference, the throne of grace, building of nations through the church, was appropriate, especially at this time when the country is experiencing insecurity and several other challenges. Now, let's give you the story that, like the major story we have for today. Political rallies may hold in Southeast IPOB. The indigenous people of Biafra has said it is not against political rallies in the Southeast because IPOB is not interested in Nigerian elections. The pro-Biafran group pointed out that there is no threat to any political party holding its campaign rally across the Southeast on a Monday because it has long cancelled the Monday sit at home. Although the group had said on several occasions that it has cancelled the Monday sit at home, it introduced across the region in 2021 to protest the unlawful detention of its leader. Reports that Monday in the region, in most places, is a day when offices, banks, marketplaces, motor parks, schools, petrol stations, and every other public outlets remain shut. The campaign council of the All Progressive Congress had earlier scheduled its campaign activities for its presidential candidate, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, to hold on Monday in some parts of the Southeast. It was gathered that the APC did not earlier consider that Monday is observed as a sit at home in some areas of the Southeast, a situation that has made it to now reschedule its campaigning in the zone. However, reacting in a statement made available to the two newsmen, IPOB's media and publicity, Powerful, assured that there is no threat of any kind for political rally in the Southeast on Monday. Remember that you're still tuned to Ebon at the 103.5 FM, and this is Political Views. Political Views come to you every Wednesday, 3 o'clock p.m., and then every Saturday, 10 o'clock a.m. Now, this is that spot where we get to discuss the political situation in Nigeria, the happenings in the political space, being that man is a political animal, and then politics is the way by which man, succeeds, interacts, and then in public space where politics is discussed, being objective is one particular thing that one must know about whenever you're talking about politics. Being objective in your utterances matters a lot. So that said, the numbers to call to become part of this conversation this afternoon is 080 96 66 1035. What are your political views of all the matters that we're looking at this evening? The issue about Atiku Wike feud remains the same. Have Wike and PDP political view on Ebon at the 103.5 FM? Mm. When we saw the ordeal, unfolding when it comes to Ekweremadu, we begin to wonder what is happening. And then now, Ohanaeze Ndigbo is talking about the fact that maybe federal government knows about what the failure of his child. The Apex Igbo Social Cultural Organization was reacting to the ruling of a federal high court in Abuja ordering interim forfeiture of 40 properties allegedly linked to Ekweremadu. Why is this done? Now, the group went on to explain bad. The group said that the expert interim asset forfeiture ordered by Federal High Court Abuja is, to say the least, cruel. And whoever filed that suit at a time Ekweremadu is incarcerated and unable to defend himself has no conscience or regard for cardinal pillars of law and justice, particularly the principle of how the let the other side be heard as well. That is the principle of let the other side be heard as well. This has also proved our suspicion all along that some highly placed personalities are behind Ekweremadu's UK's ordeal. What are your political views? What do you think? Do you think the federal government, has something to do with what Ekweremadu is going through in the UK? And at the time, Dele Momodo is also saying that Nigerians now can see the reason why Atiku chose Ifan Yokowa as his running mate uh, when it comes to 2023 elections. But during the presidential town hall, Okowa was not the only person that was in attendance. The candidates in attendance were Peter Obi of Labour Party, Kwankwaso of NMPP, Kola Abiola of People Redemption Party. Then Okowa was there representing PDP. Sometimes when you look at like the absence of people like presidential candidates who are supposed to be in a particular event, that alone looks as a strategy of its own, don't you think? Now, remember that you're still listening to Political Views on Ebona, the 103.5 FM with I, Martin Ifanshuku, Ekizie. And today we are looking at a lot of issues. But basically, I want to bring it down to this one that like is in our zone, basically. This one that